shit, soul
Okay,
R&B. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you say
okay.
going way back. They used to call it race music first, and then one of them changed it and call it R&B.
Once
Race
again,
music. What a race music.
they call it race music. I what the?
Yeah, one time.
I what the? I what the? Basically, black folk music. Oh my goodness sake! You know.
Affinity Extra, be extra.
Put this onto YouTube, this conversation, because it's important for us to celebrate gospel music of black origin, but also some of the rudimental elements is that our cousins, our brothers, our family, the people that have been born and bred in church have done amazing exploits in the world music and has influenced many people, but we forget that. We want to demonize them. It's so easy to, you know what I'm saying? But we need to celebrate some of the maneuvers which they couldn't do because church was too church, you know what I'm saying? And too restrictive, you know what I'm saying? And they've gone out there and done what we wanted, what we need to happen in gospel music over here. So we're here to expose the truth and the successes of black music in the world, and we know we can do that for black music in gospel music. That's just Roger's passion. That's how Roger does it. Let me just flip onto brother Kevin. Yo, brother Kevin, you in, bro?
Yes, I'm in, bro.
Okay, I can hear loud and clear, guys.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yes.
we got
Yeah.
the historian himself, Kevin Tomlin. And I thought, let me just let me just make sure we get all the levels then right, bro. I want to make sure we get you in
Yeah.
nice and crispy and clear anyway still, yeah? Make sure everything's recording nice, and let's do this, bro. Now, bro, let me just just make sure everyone just knows that we've got a true black music historian. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not a Wikipedia expert. We're talking about black music because we all Wikipedia experts right here. Going yo. Oh yeah, guess what? I could do that all day long anyway. But the beauty of it, Kevin has gone through the whole thing. Now Kevin's just called me the other day. I'm gonna bring them into the context of what we could do this for, bro. This is half an hour intro session because Kevin comes to me the other day and said, Roger, Philadelphia. I said, Philly what? Philadelphia company, record company. I said, what's the Philadelphia record company? And he starts reeling out artists. Erykah Badu. I said, what? Tribe Called Quest. I said, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like this, okay, so, but that is a generations of sheer input that have had into how we do music. And let's not pretend about it, guys, you know. We have kind of teeth a few licks off the musicians there, and I must admit, a few of us has, let's be honest, played Erykah Badu live. I'm guilty of that. Shh, don't tell nobody. But and we don't play them music there in church there, so yeah. But the reality show is I'm a neo soul fan, and I just feel like we just haven't done it anyway, how it should be done. But the reality show is, guys, that music came out and artists were allowed to come out there because of the fathers before that have made a way. So we're going to be talking about the fathers of that over the next few weeks. We're breaking down the sessions, but we want we've done shows where we talk for an hour and so on and so, but now we're going to be condensing these conversations because I want to be punching left, right and center and focusing on a certain element. So we're going to start from the rudimental beginnings of the Philadelphia company, and we go through the basics. So I had to do that big whole intro so you can get a vibe of what we're going to do. Yeah. So, God, bro, you just kick it off, man. I'm gonna be jumping in and jumping in, man. You just slap us up, bro, with them stats.
Yes. The thing about it, before Philadelphia International emerged in 1970, there were other black labels before that, originally in Philly.
Okay.
You had Arctic Records. You had Philly Groove, you had Gamble, the three, and each of these labels that I am mentioning produce million-seller hit records. You know, all right. Hey,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Let's talk about the I would call it the prototype of the Philly sound.
Okay.
By the lady Barbara Mason. Yes, I'm Ready. Yes, I'm Ready was the first million seller that actually illustrate the lushness and sophistication of the Philly sound that was going to emerge in the 1970s.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Ready. Okay, yeah. What is interesting about Yes, I'm Ready? It had a rhythm section that consists of Earl Young on drums, Ronnie Baker on bass, and Norman Harris on rhythm guitar. then augmented with that the Philly Symphony Orchestra string section, so that you have that lushness.
So what year was this, bro?
Oh, this came out in 1965, bro.
So no. Growing up, bro, yeah, I was made to feel that black music and classical music were too far things away. Just the other day, bro, yeah, somebody said in a gospel music WhatsApp group, you know, these gospel music WhatsApp groups, said, jazz and classical music has nothing to do with gospel music. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, black people don't, you know what I mean? It's almost like a unique element. So, bro, like, we've been on this symphony orchestras has been fused with black music. Yeah, so this
Chicago, in Chicago, Detroit, all the major cities, Minneapolis, where Minneapolis come on, according to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, that city had its symphony section, which Jimmy and Harris Lewis. Every single major black producer had a bunch of string and horn musicians from the symphony orchestra that they borrowed to use with their string arrangers they hired to come in and argument the track, bro.
So it wasn't a case. I always thought it was keyboard strings.
No, it wasn't keyboard strings. It wasn't keyboard strings at all. It wasn't keyboard strings. It was actually. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Somebody was trying to get on my phone.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was the strings during those days were live, brother. These guys come in with their tuxedos and so on and actually do a string section with a full tuxedo, like they're doing a live thing. It was always live, bro.
Jeez.
Live.
And
so you get the full. You get the full.
How many copies was that? Sorry.
Of it.
So that recording. What's the name of that recording again, bro?
Yes, I'm ready. I would text it to you. Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
No, got it. Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready by Barbara Mason. They regard it as the prototype to the Philly sound. What would become the Philly sound? 1965, and a small black label owned by Jimmy Bishop, who was the local celebrity DJ in the city and one of the most influential DJs at the time in America. Because this brother was key to actually promoting tracks. Any tracks that was coming through, people calling him to promote this black track. And so he was signed to his label. It was actually produced by a gentleman called Walden Arthur McDougall III. He was one of the movers and shakers behind the scene, the first set of black producers that came out of Philly. McDougall.
Wow.
Walden Arthur McDougall III is dead now, but he was the one who discovered her singing, and then said, let's sign up. And so Jimmy Bishop signed her up to his label. Now, this lady is interesting because she became one of Philadelphia's most successful songwriters, in actual fact. She was one of the first. Yeah, she's one of the first of the songwriters to have her own music company called James Max Mason, because she had a son with Jimmy Bishop. And you know, if you see Barbara Mason when she was young, you can understand that, man. The woman was stunning.
I'm just looking at the single cover above. Yeah, I'm saying, man.
Yeah. This woman is serious.
Yeah, man.
Remember, she wrote this song. You know, she wrote the song in the teens. I think the song came out when she was about either 16 or 15, or 16 or 18 years old.
What are you telling me?
It became a million seller. One of the first lush million sellers to come out of Philly.
But bro, to have the capacity not to let that get to your head and still have the business mentality, because I know teenagers, bro. You give them a million. You give them a million hit, return full. But she kept her business head on and said that, yo, I'm gonna keep on writing, and whether I sing or not, even though I can lock it down, I'm gonna get my music business head on, and it doesn't happen all the time. But I want guys to note that because like she had her music head on because
she had her own publishing company, bro, and she still has it today. The woman is serious. It's just serious, and she's about she was born 10 years before me. She was born on the 9th of August, 1947. So she will be 74 this year. And by the way, her voice, many of her fans said her voice is still good, and she still looks good. She still looks good, bro.
Fire. And you know what, bro? And people might think that, and something that I want to keep a note in these elements that we need to take on board in music. Songwriters, even if you get a hit, feel no way to write for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's called future income streams. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, this is interesting. Barbara Mason's track, Yes, I'm Ready, became a #1 hit and a million seller for Casey and the Sunshine Band too.
Okay.
During the 80s, during the early 80s, it became a #1 hit for them. So a lot of people, like Gladys Knight and so on, have actually used her track.
And sing on, and then obviously they pay her the rights because she wrote it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And pay the royalties. So her son benefits from that, and family members.
The States.
So when she's gone, because remember that's not the only track that she has in her publishing. She has about a couple of 100 tracks that she's wrote. And Yes, I'm Ready. You should listen to some of the other tracks.
Jeez, yo, people, listen. This is success, right? So this was the fundamental move in Philadelphia in the '65, right. and the thing is, this is around in the environment that she's in, facing struggles. Racism was at the marches that were going on right at that time. It was a struggle, but to keep the head focused and actually think and think, you know what, we're gonna go through, even though we're blatantly being ripped off and being marginalized. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We are still gonna fight it up and set up business systems for ourselves and have that acumen, even though they weren't taught it. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because before them, these are trailblazers, bro. Straight up trailblazers for black music.
Because remember now, this is interesting that remember, she's not the only one during the 60s that had a publishing house. You had Otis Redding had 2 publishing houses. You had Sam Cooke had a publishing house. You had Gamble Enough had a publishing house. Curtis Mayfield had 2 to 3 publishing houses. So several black guys and what ladies were, they were getting crack.
Bro. I can't even tell you where a public house going on right about now in the UK gospel scene.
This is because you got to remember them. They are prototypes.
Yeah.
They are prototypes. And not only that, after '65, when Barbara Mason get that hit, Gamble Enough produced a hit for a white group called Soul Survivors, Expressway to Your Heart. That was a monster. It was R&B #3 and R&B #4 and pop #4 on the charts, and that was a million seller too. The Gamble Enough's first million seller they produced and wrote.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. You know when you're talking about R&B in the mid '60s, when did R&B become a chart in itself? Because that's quite far back. You know what I'm saying? Because R&B to me is SWV, Jade. That's R&B to me. So when you're talking about rhythm and blues going back that far, I'm like, hold on a second. So when did this rhythm and blues come through?
Rhythm and blues, according to historians, it was called rhythm and blues by Jerry Wassler, who was a Jewish guy who produced Aretha Franklin. He defined that term. Okay. Yes, and then it became stick, and then Billboard and Cashbox begin to create the charts for it. Yeah, Chip, Soul, R&B. You say going way back. They used to call it race music first, and then one of them changed it and call it R&B. Race music. Whatever. Race music.
They called it race music. What the?
At one time.
What the? Basically, black folk music. Oh my goodness sake, Oh my race music,
But the thing about it, when it started to generate money now. Start generating money now, and white guys begin to set up labels to accommodate to these hits.
Yeah, man.
You got to remember, right after Gamble Enough did that million seller. In 1968, they did a million seller on their own label for intruders called Cowboys to Girl, and a gamble label. A million seller, bro.
Sake.
So they each year they have a million seller, and by 1968 they have a million seller for Jerry Butler on Mercury record called Only the Strong Survive, which Elvis Presley recorded that too, you know. The song is bad, boy. So these guys begin to roll in. They're beginning to roll into money now as songwriters and producers. The prototype getting ready out at the same time. While I'm doing that, the rhythm section, those guys that I mentioned earlier with the Philadelphia Symphony Orchestra getting tighter and more groove when they begin to develop those Hittites drumming style and pumping bass, getting more sophisticated before the 70s come in. Then preparing, they're getting ready. Yeah, they're getting tighter, and more groovy and sophisticated.
Okay, so
yeah, you get me now.
Yeah, no. I fully get where you're coming from, and I think that guys, and this is why we just exposing this out, because history has lessons in history. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to emphasize the importance of and foolish people ignore history. We don't spend our time looking at history, but the reality show is it's so important to recognize it and to celebrate it, yeah, and also to understand and learn from other people. Whether music's changed, vibe has changed, whatever works, the model just needs to be updated and tweaked, and we move forward. So it's amazing, bro. These trailblazers have really set something going up in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? The DJs connecting with doing what DJs do, finding great artists out there, having a connecting, get the producer, get the things moving, knowing, because if anything,
that's right.
the DJs understand the sound that's current, they understand what's needed, they know the need. The DJs know that, hold on a second, I had to go in that club full of white people, and they loved when I put that rare groove in, like, that groove, if I can get my sister on that to sing the vocals in, you know what, and they can test out the crowd, they can have white labels and test things out. So that's the importance that DJs
by the way, as you're talking about testing out the crowd, when Isaac Hayes, just to give you an example, when Isaac Hayes did Hot Butter Soul, which was #1 in several different charts, and it was revolutionary. They test it out at clubs, and they start playing, walking by and going to Phoenix, start playing them tracks. Yeah. So they go into clubs, people talking and chatting, and they start playing the music in the background. And then all of a sudden you hear that people start to go quiet. It's weird.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's whoa. I just say this, and then they do it in another club to fight, and they say, I think we're onto something. It's the same thing like me and Mrs. Jones. One day they play it in some club to watch the reaction. Yeah. And they say, I think, Leon, I think we're onto something, We're onto something. So that's how they used to test it.
Yeah, man. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just going forward a bit.
Okay, cool.
Quickly. When Gamble Enough had the track that they think was really groovy and really dynamic, they got to Clive Davis, who signed, the filler. I'm just running ahead of it.
Yeah, no, cool.
And then they used to play it. They have a listening session. And Clive said, put that verse in the front. No, put this one at the back. And that guy, you see, Clive Davis, he's a serious brother, He's a serious bro when it comes to listening. And he was the one instrumental in helping to set up Philly International.
Okay. No. So literally, we go back. So go back to basically. So Barber comes out with this track there still, and we got the Philadelphia, the birth in the Philadelphia sound.
Start to develop, because when you listen to it after you finish this program and listen to, you understand, you hear that lushness, and sophistication, which is totally different from the Motown sound. The drumming, the bass line is completely different. Just get a chance and play all our tracks.
But people talk so much about Motown. I don't really hear much about these guys. Yeah, why is that? Why is that the case? Everyone says Motown. Like this is the only model.
Well, the thing about it is that Motown, you've got to understand, Motown was the first successful black label.
Okay.
A massive production run.
Okay.
Right? And then by mid-60s, the Philly sound began to emerge while the Motown's still blazing, you know? You get it?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But listen to this, another interesting track that came up from a black label now, Philly Groove, owned by Stan Watson.
Okay.
Started in 1968, Philly Groove. And la 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 la. I love by the Delphonics.
Okay.
And your dad might know that too. And they did this track. Didn't you blow this mind? Didn't you blow my mind this time? Didn't you blow my mind this time? Didn't I?
Okay.
That track. Now listen to this now. Let me give you some facts with that track now. That track became a million seller. Right? Became a million seller. And on top of it, it was one of the first Philly tracks to get a Grammy Award, bro. In 1970, Grammy Award.
Hold on a second. Right. So in amongst of the fact that basically we're getting lynched, we're getting beaten up on the streets, we're getting battered, we're getting marginalized, we're not getting no jobs. There's I don't want no blacks, I don't want no dogs, I don't want no Irish here. All that's going on. We're still selling records.
Yep.
That's crazy. And getting awards, Grammy Awards, bro. Music's powerful.
Grammy Awards
in
1970 at the 13th Annual Grammy Awards. 13th Annual Grammy Awards. And it was for Best R&B Performance by a duo or a group, vocal. And it was produced by Tom Bell, who is Jamaican descent.
All right. Yeah, drop that in there.
Listen. We're just whetting people appetite, because when the 70s hit, bro, and you start talking about the Stylics, the Spinners, the OJs, the Teddy Pendergrass, Aaron Melvin, and the Blue Notes.
That's
John
the
B.
next show, guys. That's the next week's show.
We just start talking about behind the scene. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to jump on it.
Yeah.
The first producer to become producer of the year for Grammy Award, the first producer of the year was Tom Bell from Philly.
Tom Bell?
Yes, Tom Bell from Philly, who is a Jamaican descent.
Yeah.
I think he was either born in Jamaica or born in Philly, but he's Jamaican descent. He became producer of the year in 1974. Best producer of the year. And that was the first time that category was introduced. And he did that. That's to show you the impact of Philly. So, listen, bro. The 60s was just the prelude. Just waking up. It was just setting up. Because remember, by the 60s, the late 60s, you had a gambling label, which is produced a million seller. You had Arctic produced a million seller as a black-owned label in 65, and then you had Gamble label that produced a million seller in 68 with Cowboys to Go by the Intruders. Yeah. So all these different, black labels begin to merge, but the most successful black label out of it when the 70s came around, Philly International. Philly International, I think, by the time the Gamblers finished their hit run, they did about 300,000 songs they wrote on their own personally. Now, on top of that, don't forget the songs that McFadden and Whitehead wrote, Tom Bell wrote, and Bonnie Stagler and Barbara. The whole list. The publishing catalog was. They had one of the most successful publishing catalog in history, Mighty 3 Publishing.
And this, and guys, this is how we get out of these situations. We think clever, we think business, we come together, we use that. We're going to be creative, we're going to be on it, and you know what? We've got to write. You know what I'm saying? We've got to stop because, guys, we're not going to go into the 70s because I know Kevin purposely teased you with that one because we're doing the 70s, but we're just looking at the foundational elements of the Philly sound. You know what I'm saying? Because these foundations is how the likes of Erykah Badu, was
Yes.
able to walk into a studio and come with a next sound. You know what I mean, this is the foundation that Tribe Called Quest and a unique
Tribal
sound.
and Roots and all of them, come out, and Soul Child came out of Philly, and Jill Scott. Because if you hear this song, what they did, that touch of jazz,
Jill Scott,
with Jeffrey and Will Smith. I mean, those guys were rough, boy. I mean, the
Will
stuff.
Smith in it, Jazzy Jeff, yeah.
Don't forget that, they are Philly boys. And the sound that they came out was basically the foundation that Gamble Enough and Tom Bell built.
And this is what, and bro, this is the mentality that we need to have. What we building for? Are we building for today, or are we building for tomorrow? And them guys put the brickwork in a time where you should never have built bricks. Yeah, they're probably thinking that, you know what I mean, these guys had hope where there's no hope. Yeah, and I have to salute them, Barbara.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, a young age, stepping out, doing your thing, writing your own music, doing your thing, walking through your talent, and there's plenty to learn from there. That's amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Barbara to me is an amazing woman. I would love to meet her, because she writes poems. She was writing poems from a young age, and she and her music. When you think about Yes, I'm Ready, it's very mature. It's a very mature sound. What she did is extremely mature. I'm a sad girl. When you just talk about people, relationship. I mean, this girl sounds like she's about 30, 40 years old. Sad girl.
But do you think, Kevin, the music in that area was people sang from a place of people matured quicker because life was so hard? Do you think do you think that harder life, that's how hip hop was produced, was pushed through because of the absolute hardship that these rappers were facing, not only from the police but through in the projects, in all the cities, in the cities, and it was forced through, and it's that struggle that oozes through their music, that sparks a revival, that sparks a sound. You know what I'm saying? And if this is the scary thing is, bro, I don't understand how gospel don't have are struggling, because we've got a passion, we got a drive. You know what I'm saying, bro? And
we should be just
tearing it up.
We should be smashing the charts so hard that they don't know what hit them.
This is
the thing about it. What worries me is about we need to actually write songs that is so good that both the jazz, the rock, everybody use it.
Yes,
so good.
Yeah.
When you think about it, The Strong Survive, used by Elvis Presley, right? And the Gamble Enough songs have been used by a lot of different people. Because they're so well written.
Yes.
They're so well written.
Writers, where you at, man? And we got writers, bro. We got writers, and
I know.
We need people. We need to come together, man. We need to come together because
I know, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've got the talent, we got the gifting, bro. And it's like we got great entertainment level people. We got great writers, but the writers want to do the singing themselves, but not give it to the entertainers and whatever. And we just need to set things up and say, listen, you write, you sing, you manage, you do these string arrangements, you do this, you do that, and we've got it all. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a team approach. Because with the thing that Philly was so good, the Philly sound, they are the best musicians, they are the best keyboards, they are the best string arrangers, they are the best vocal arrangers.
Yeah,
brother, it was like a whole machine, a sophisticated system with the best of the best all working together. They talk about Don Renardo, the greatest Italian American string arranger, Larry Gold, Bobby Martin, Tom Bell. All of these are string masters. They're classically string masters.
This is it.
And some of them are jazz trained. And then you have Earl Young, the drummer, and Ronnie Baker, Harrison, Bobby Eli, white Jewish guy. All these guys,
passionate,
coming together. And the music was the governing thing, bro. They were interested in doing music they were into play. It was a one-off. We either do it good or forget about it. Let's go on.
Excellence, spirit of excellence. Yeah,
spirit of excellence.
And then that's how we do. So guys, you just listen to the absolute teaser. And you must think back.
It's a teaser, bro.
Tease it like everyone's like, Roger, you wickedy. You bring on Kevin, and you just start like that. You give a teaser up. You mention it, and you just jump out and left us up in the sky. You know what I'm saying? But we're looking at fundamentals, and we thought that we're gonna do this thing justice. We're gonna do it bit by bit. We're gonna be building up, and we're gonna be looking at things. Right. This one was really a salute to Barbara Mason, who actually was one of the forerunners of the sound of Philly.
That's right. She was.
And her mentality to set things up business wise and to move forward, that her sons are sorted, her sons are sorted, and her sons are sorted by their estate. Absolutely amazing things. Kev, appreciate the love. I have somebody who's trying to work out your accent, bro, and I said, don't worry, man, Kevin's a man that has got an international accent. Yeah.
Tell him I'm British born, but I have Jamaican experience. I'm like Roger. We have the Jamaican vibes.
Yeah, man. get me in trouble there. What do you know? Listen, man, we are your thing here. Anyway, but listen, guys. Kev, we're gonna love and leave her. Thanks for teasing us with the Philly sound, guys. Do your research. We'll be back on this year, guys, on a weekly basis. Over the next few weeks, we'll be looking at the Philly sound. So watch this space. This is a salute to the 60s. Of the 50s, the Philly sound, and I've learned a lot, bro, because I would have just left it as Biggie and Tupac, bro. That's me all over. But you're just making me think about bigger things in the whole spectrum, man. So enough love with that, bro. And guys, I'm gonna end off the show with a track there, guys. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for Kevin on there. Yo, guys, make sure you keep an eye on us. We're gonna be putting on YouTube this sound. We're gonna be putting more stuff on YouTube, and we're building up a playlist all about the history of black music. So with all fed from Master Kevin Tomlin himself. Okay, guys, thanks again for listening. Kev, thanks again, bro. Yeah,
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.